bottom left, you have the mute button. Now, you want to be on mute if you have background noises or while the presentation is underway. That's kind of important. And that's about all. And every once in a while, make sure to update your Zoom because it's important. Otherwise, it'll do it for you. And likely when you're not going to want it. And over to you, Margaret Ann.
Okay, that's a great idea to update Zoom. Today I restarted my computer, so I'm not sure about the Zoom, but I should do that. So thanks, Bernie, for that. So welcome everybody for our Connect Ottawa call today. We're really excited to have Terry Black here from Vis-a-Vis, who is going to be talking about long-term care is not your only option. However, before we get started, we love to go around the room and learn a little bit about who's on the call, who you are, where you're from. And as mentioned, drop your information into the chat. We're also, just so you know, streaming live on LinkedIn and YouTube. So we encourage you to go to the page. I'll share the link and leave a little comment with your information as well. So if anybody out there is watching us in LinkedIn land, they'll actually have an option to connect with you as well. So on that note, what I'm going to do is go around the room and we'll start with, hey, Tanya, how about we start with you, our very own little VIP.
Thank you, Margaret Ann. Hi, everyone. My name is Tanya Hewitt from Beyond Safety Compliance. A lot of people are starting to talk about this whole quiet quitting thing, which is not a new concept, but it is something that does communicate that workplaces are not a great place to be. You just put in your hours and then you leave because you really don't like being in a place that doesn't value you and that you don't get a whole lot from. Whereas there are healthy workplaces out there where this isn't the case. People are excited about going to work, probably not every single day, but on balance, that's what they want to be there because what they do is valued and they know that they are contributing to a much greater vision in their work and in society. And there are so many places that could benefit from getting new ideas to be able to transform themselves into great organizations that are healthy and appreciate their workforce. So beyond safety compliance, how does your work look?
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Tanya. And how about Roger?
Hello, I'm Roger Killen from Vancouver. I think probably best to describe myself as semi-retired. Semi means half. That means I'm just entered the second half of my life. I'm becoming increasingly interested in biohacking for seniors, and that's the reason I am attracted to this talk. Back to you, Margaret Ann.
Okay, thanks a lot, Roger. That's great to have you here. And Peggy.
Hi, I'm Peggy Caldwell. I am the Regional Director of Ontario for Vis-a-Vis. And so I am really excited to be here today and to support Terry. And although I live in the GTA area, I live in Burlington, I love to travel up to Ontario, up to Ottawa and support the team up there. So I'm really excited to be connecting with Ottawa Connect.
Oh, perfect. That's nice. So you're from Burlington?
I am. I live in Burlington, yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. And how about Michael?
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Okay. I help, inflation is a major problem for both individuals and families and also businesses. And it's silently creeps into income. So I help individuals and families battle inflation by showing them ways to save on their expenses, their groceries, their shopping, and also their monthly bills. I also help individuals and businesses get competitive rates for both their gas, their utilities, electricity, and also their payment processing. So if you want to put some money back in your pocket or save on some of those expenses, I can help you. Michael, my company name is Ayak. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Great to have you here. And Mayank.
Hi, everyone. This is Mayank from Ottawa. And hello, Roger. Nice to meet you again after so long. Man, I miss those meetings. I'm a health and wellness coach based in Ottawa, but I train people wherever they are because I also have an online option. And yeah, that's what I do all day, and that's what I take pride in. I love doing it. And yeah, that's it. Short introduction today.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
And Bernie.
Oh, folks, my name is Bernie Francois from Creative Insight Consultants. I do people-to-people connections, actually resource-to-resource connections. Also have a podcast called Knack for Business, and that's talking about business relationships. And I'll kind of dovetail out of that and back over to you, Margaret Ann.
We're all short and sweet today. I think it was that turkey. That turkey does something to our brains, right? No.
I didn't have no turkey. I have no Thanksgiving, no family, nothing.
But you're breathing and you're alive. That's a good start. That's a good start.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. But my family doesn't eat turkey, and they're like 15 hours away in a plane.
So you have to do that on those Zoom calls. See, this is like this here.
We don't have Thanksgiving. If we consider that as Thanksgiving, it's 365 days a year in India because they dine together. So every day is
there you go. Perfect. Although, okay, so there could be a whole different topic. So we'll come back to that at another date. And for those that don't know, I am Margaret Ann Davis, and I am the host now of Ottawa Connects You. And I'm just putting into the chat because what I like to say is that this has now become an opportunity for everybody. Actually, a few of you on this call have already presented on this call, but we have decided to open up this service to other people and take it down a different road. So if you're looking for an opportunity to launch a business, share a new product, maybe it's a service, or maybe you're just an expert on something and you'd like an opportunity to have an audience to share, I encourage you to go to our Connect Ottawa presenters page. And if that is something that interests you, I'd be welcome to send you a form. And today I'm going to get the honors, is that Bernie? The honors to introduce Terry Black. And I am really excited to hear from Terry today because she's actually a native of Ottawa, but also is in a business that is very near and dear to my heart that I was talking to her about the show before we started about my parents. So welcome, Terry, to the call. Terry is an award-winning social communities professional and has worked in the field of gerontology for 25 plus years. Her education includes an honors in recreation and leisure services, training as an LTC rehabilitation assistant, recipient of the 1999 Algonquin Social Community Services Sector Award, developed and trained a bereavement facilitator, and was lead volunteer at the Ross Come Dine With Me bereavement program. Previously, Terry worked at Ross for 8 years in recreation and community outreach development, and she currently volunteers at Ross at the Friendly Voice program. Today, she is here to speak to us on behalf of Vis-a-Vis. So Terry, on that note, welcome.
Thank you so much, Margaret Ann. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and there we go. So thank you so much. And I'm just going to talk today about your different options in retirement living. And today, the topic, sorry. It's not working.
That's okay. We sometimes have hiccups. So if you have to
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. So long-term care is not your only option. And the topic of this came to me when, as you're all aware of the new Bill C7 that allows the hospitals to discharge you to a long-term care home if it's no longer safe for you to go home. However, I want you to be aware of other options. And to me, knowledge is power. So I hope you feel empowered after this presentation and you're able to help your loved ones or share the information with some friends. Okay. So we're going to look at all the options: long-term care, staying at home, and retirement living. Public services or public long-term care homes are owned and operated by the provincial government. And the long-term care homes offer 24/7 medical assistance for people who can no longer care for themselves. A waiting list is 2 to 5 years. And with the Bill C7, because of the hospitals having to discharge from hospital to long-term care now, people waiting in the community may have a longer wait. Nursing homes are intended for seniors who need 24/7 medical care and supervision. constant care and assistance. And seniors living in these facilities enjoy a safe and secure environment at all times. And this is a reassuring point for family of a loved one with a senior who needs this extra care and can no longer remain at home. I did call the Home and Community Care Services to get these rates so that they were updated. So these are the costs of living in a long-term care home. The private room is, as you see, $2769.14 a month. A semi-private room is $2336.92 a month. And the basic, which is where you're sharing rooms, sometimes 3 to 4 people, is $1938.46 a month. And on the basic rooms that they have, these rooms can be subsidized if needed, if you have a lower budget. Private homes are retirement homes. They are privately owned and operated. They have to be registered and licensed with ORCA, the Ontario Retirement Home Community Association. And those that are offering care are governed by the RHRA, which is a Retirement Home Regulatory Authority. And these retirement homes that are governed by the RHRA are accredited every year. So you can be guaranteed that they are meeting, retirement homes that are accredited every year are meeting the guidelines and regulations for their retirement home. And we only work vis-a-vis, we only work with retirement homes that are RHRA certified. So I didn't put in pricing, specific pricing, because all retirement homes are different. And the rates are based on the per square footage, per unit, and care is in addition to the rental fees. And there are no subsidy programs with private retirement homes. So if you're more interested in finding out the specific rates, I have information at the end of this presentation that you can get in touch with a senior living advisor, and that they will be able to give you more specifics. So all of us, I know we can all say this, but I want to stay independent, and I'm here to tell you, you can. So let's talk options.
Terry, do you want to handle questions at the end or during?
Maybe at the end, please.
Okay.
So dad needs help staying at home, and mom is considering a move to a retirement home. So with vis-a-vis, we can plan a smooth transition together. There comes an age when the question arises, at home or in a residence. It's an important decision and a choice that is not always easy. Vis-a-vis was founded 34 years ago to respond to this major concern of the elderly and their families. So we are the largest network of residential and home care consultants in Ontario and Quebec. As I said, we were founded in 1988, so we're a 34-year-old company. We have helped over 200,000 families and seniors. And we have a team of over 150 people who put people first and make a real difference in the lives of seniors and their families. So Tanya, when you were saying, having work that, you're valued and you make a difference, this is the type of work that a senior living advisor does with vis-a-vis. So we work closely with hospitals and home and community care, which is formerly known as the LIN, professional associations and retirement associations. Our advisors have a diversified expertise in several fields. These are just a few in gerontology, psychology, nursing, social intervention, physical rehabilitation, psychoeducation, and recreation therapy. So let's talk staying at home. Home care and home support services enable seniors to live fully at home. So the Home and Community Care Support Services, which is again the provincial government program. This program, you can get help in the home. And so when I'm going to talk about private home care services, this can be in addition to home and community support. So home care to stay at home without worries and peace of mind. So home care services offer a full range of support and assistance to seniors so that you can stay at home, enjoy the comfort of your home, and so you can remain independent as well. And some of the services are, assistance taking you out on to medical appointments or on outings to do groceries, planning and accompanying you to the medical appointments. And what that means, not just driving you, but you can actually hire someone to go with you and take notes and can report back to your family. Help with daily tasks and shopping. And I can't get rid of this, just like, sorry. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so your loved one is unique and so are their needs. Professional caregivers work alongside you to provide exceptional personal care that is tailored to each senior's reality. So to stay home, sometimes you might need help with hygiene and feeding assistance or mobility assistance. If you have surgery, you might need post-operative care, rehab assistant care, and special conditions, healthcare conditions such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and other dementias. So these services, home care services, are available so that you can stay home in the comfort of everything that you're used to. Find a residence. This is another option. So we understand the importance of feeling at home, and our home search services allow seniors to continue to fully live in their new environment. And I might say that our service is free. A free service to find the right residence for each senior, and the search for a retirement home is a pivotal step in the life of a senior and their loved ones. And for over 34 years, we've helped people make the right choice. Retirement homes in Ontario are actually living environments in which seniors can live in autonomy while enjoying some daily amenities or services. The concept, sorry, I need to clear this so I can see. There we go. The concept is to ensure that retirees feel at home in a pleasant environment while enjoying at the same time the benefits of living in a retirement home. Seniors can enjoy daily meals, some activities, and all around the province of Ontario, you can choose from many different private retirement homes. Many options available. Okay. I have a feeling I just skipped a slide, Bernie. Is there any way I can go back up, do you know?
Yeah, you just hit the left arrow, you should be good.
There we go. Thank you. Yes, okay, good. Independent living for seniors. So this is independent living is for seniors who are still independent and have full, a good level of autonomy. And this type of retirement home offers them to live in a location where they can remain active while having certain services. Some things are meals. Seniors sometimes don't want to cook anymore, so they decide to move to retirement home. And sometimes their outdoor yard work is too much and they can't manage that anymore. So that's another reason why they end up moving. But also socialization, that's a big one, because a lot of times seniors may not have families, or if they do, they don't visit often. So they get isolated and feeling lonely. So in a retirement home, you have the social activities and entertainment, physical activities, sports, and you also have access to an in-house doctor. So that's another big issue, so that you don't have to go out to, you're outside the community to see a physician. They come to you, and there's so much more in a retirement home that people benefit from. And another consideration is pet friendly. So you know what? Pets are part of the family, right? So we have to make sure that if a senior has a pet, that they can bring them to their new retirement home as well. Assisted living, they're the ideal solution for seniors who can still live independently, but just need a small form of assistance on a daily basis, such as housekeeping, personal care, transportation, even meal preparation are usually included in the monthly rent. And assisted living communities offer a varied choice of social, recreational, and physical activities for the residents as well. So, do you choose independent living or assisted living? So the real choice depends on what the current needs are of your elderly loved one, but you also want to look into the future and see what kind of needs might be available then. So many communities offer a section of autonomous seniors, which is independent living, or semi-autonomous, which is assisted living. And we strongly, recommend that you take time to visit the retirement homes you're considering before making your decision. But to be confident in your decision, you should always feel free to contact a senior vis-a-vis living advisor for advice. The reason why is because we know all the retirement homes. So according to what your care needs are, and in the future, we can advise you on which communities would be best suited for your loved one. Memory care communities, they exist to ensure that seniors that are living with Alzheimer's disease or any other type of dementia receive the assistance they need. And, they have specialized programming and to really increase the quality of life for seniors who are living with Alzheimer's disease or dementia. And again, I mentioned nursing homes earlier. They're intended for seniors who need constant care and supervision. Yeah. Okay. So Vis-a-Vis offers a free residence search service. And we have there's no obligation, no hidden fees. You'll never ever pay 1 cent for our service, and you're free to make the decision that best suits your family and loved ones. We are available 24/7. So if something happens that you need some advice or assistance right away, you can call 24/7, which is really a comforting thing to know. It's funny, last week I was asked, so what would happen if your service wasn't available to anybody? And I said, well, seniors or families would have to book 137 hours of their time, making calls, making inquiries, visiting retirement homes before they can actually make a decision as to which residence to move to. And that's a proven statistic, 137 hours. With Vis-a-Vis, it's we do the search and everything from 10 to 12 hours. So that's how quick it can happen. And also, if you do the search on your own, because when you go visit a retirement home, you're never really sure, 100% sure if it really was the best choice for you. But because our senior living advisors do know the retirement homes inside and out and visit them on a regular basis, you can be confident that the ones that we recommend to you would be best suited for you. So that's a comforting thing to know as well. So there is a process when you're working with the senior living advisors. There's 4 steps. So at first, the first call is to analyze your needs and just to get some basic information. Some of your criteria. Are you looking for pet friendly, that type of thing? And then the second step would be to present in person. We meet you in person because we like to get to know you and you to get to know us. And so we like to present some options at that meeting, and we meet you in person to answer any questions as well. Then after the senior living advisor leaves your meeting, they have the options that they are going to you would like to visit. So it's up to the senior living advisor to book the tours, take you on the tours, and accompany you through the whole process. And then when you choose the right retirement home, we can assist in signing of the lease. But also step 4, if you are needing a moving company, if you're needing a real estate agent, those type of services to help you transition, then we can also actually set up those types of services for you. So these are the regions that we serve in Quebec and Ontario. So as you can see, if I can clear this, we are in Ontario here, in Ottawa and Toronto. So all of Ontario, and so we're very excited because we have just expanded, and it's exciting to be able to, at the thought of being able to reach more seniors and helping them during this difficult time of transition and supporting the families as well. So Tanya, responding again to your comment about having purpose and making a difference in what you're doing, we are hiring in Ottawa and the GTA. So if you know of anyone who's interested, please send them our way, because we would really love to talk to you. And I'm going to give you our contact information. Our phone number is 613-234-3383, and resumes can be sent to info@visavis.com. And also I encourage you to like our Facebook page, Vis-a-Vis Facebook page, as well as our LinkedIn page. That would be wonderful. There we go. So hopefully you have some questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Terry. That was great.
You're welcome.
Yes, we actually do. You know what? They put them in the, I got them to put them in the chat so they could remind themselves. So I'm going to let them ask the questions. So who would like to start first? Let's see. We've got one from Roger. Did you want to start, Roger? You're on mute.
You actually have more than one, but let's start with the first one. Being independent is all very well and good. But what happens when you are independent and lonely?
Okay, so you mean living in your home right now as independent and lonely?
Yeah, I've observed many seniors who are healthy, vibrant, all their sharp as a pin, but they're outliving their peers, and their family is distant, so they're lonely, and they don't have the kind of money to have somebody around a lot. How do you deal with that loneliness among seniors, particularly men? Men seniors don't socialize the way women do.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts, please.
Yes, for sure. Definitely. So, there are different senior support services in your communities, depending where you're at. So they do offer different programs, recreation programs, and things that you can get involved with if you're able to still volunteer, which is another option. And I am aware of a program where seniors can call in when they're lonely and just to talk to somebody. It's called A Friendly Voice. And they are able to call this line 3 times a day and speak for 20 to 30 minutes. So that's another option that they can do. So there are ways to reach out when you are feeling lonely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that, can I ask you a question, Terry? Is A Friendly Voice like across Canada then?
Yes, it's actually run through Rural Ottawa Self-Support Services, which is acronym is ROSS, and I can provide the information to you for that as well. Yeah.
Okay, that would be great. I think that's a great thing, and I guess the reason I'm saying that is because we're not just from Ottawa on this call, so they're kind of like, okay, we've got that in Ottawa. Is that across the board?
Yeah, but anyone can call this line.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. They have a toll-free number as well. So yeah.
And I know there's a question.
I have a question.
Okay.
So since you mentioned some the prices for a single room or like not a double room, a semi room, and then the basic room. So like all the long-term care homes we have in Ottawa around, are these not funded by the government or something like that to get a room or something?
The long-term care homes are run by the provincial government, yes. However, there's still a fee to live there.
Oh, okay. I absolutely was living in some kind of Disneyland where I thought that, maybe these for old people, since they paid so much taxes their whole life, maybe they get a free chocolate there, and then they don't.
Maybe, yeah. No, but what happens is like for the basic rooms, I had mentioned sometimes those are 3 to 4 people. However, now they're trying to limit that to just maybe 2 people sharing a room. But those basic rooms, you can get subsidized rooms. So you know, if you have like, say, $900 a month for income, then the government will subsidize the remaining so that you can live in a
Because
basic.
not only that they pay, I thought the reason it's free is because I don't think they are in a position to make that kind of money, $2,700 a month to pay for it. So who pays for that? If someone's 67, 70, 80 years of age, then who covers those expenses if it's not covered by the government?
But what I'm saying is it is covered by the government. They will subsidize your income to allow.
Otherwise, yeah.
Go
They
ahead,
will
Peggy.
look at if someone has a home that, you know, to sell. They'll look at if someone has pensions. Most seniors of that generation, fortunately, still have pensions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That help, Mayank? Yeah, there's always a fee, but I mean, I don't know how much you know about, but there is, like, as people age in Canada, there's CPP that they can collect at 60. I don't know, well, in Ontario at 65, you've got old age pension. So there is a little bit of income. And of course, that's why we have financial advisors on our calls as well, to plan for this time of our lives. Because one thing I know is, you know, we think about retirement, maybe nest it all away for trips and stuff, but it's actually, you know, where do I want to go? One of the things, Terry, I wouldn't mind if you expanded a little bit more. Oh, sorry, Tanya, I'll let you go first, and then I have a question for you as well. So Terry, Tanya, you go ahead and ask Terry your question.
So Terry, you started with this provincial law, which obviously is not going to appeal to Roger at all, but where, as I understand it, just so as long as it's within a reasonable distance of the hospital, people can be put into homes not of their choosing just because there's a space there. Just wondering if you can comment on that and how Vis-a-Vis is dealing with all of this.
Well, the reality is that, you know, that is a reality. So we're trying to educate people and, you know, put it out there that there are other options that you can consider, you know, staying at home with private home care support or moving to a residence as well.
Can I comment on that too? Just because I think this is great. The biggest thing I was sharing with Terry, I've lost both my parents over the last few years, and both were in retirement homes, long-term care. And it is really good to have a person like Terry to talk to and save those 150 hours that she was talking about, because it is a job, no matter what we do. Everybody thinks they don't have a job. Everything's a job, whether it's retiring, finding that place to live, doing, or running our business, right? It's kind of a job. So when you can have that, fill that gap in with someone like Terry, that's well adversed in all these areas, that's definitely a bonus.
Thank you.
I wanted to address, Roger had mentioned, and how can you help seniors who want to cook and garden? And I'm just going to, like, I think again, Terry, I think that was it. Do you agree that we have to step back and think about what we want when we retire? And
Definitely.
Yeah, you know, if I want to cook and clean and I want to stay at home and I've got like my driveway's a mile long, I live in the country, or whatever, how much are the expenses of this to keep me in the lifestyle I choose? Is kind of like sometimes the question.
That's
and
right.
Then you can take Terry, how do you work it out? Because we were having a little chat about the cost. Like a lot of people say, I can't afford that. Can you afford not to? And, you know, at what cost do we continue to be lonely? I think that's the hardest thing for me, is seeing so many lonely people. And I'm going, how do we get these people together?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do to establish if it is affordable? And is there a baseline that is kind of like, well, as long as you're in this income bracket, this is good? Like, I don't know, is there something you can say that's kind of that point?
yeah, I understand what you're trying to say there. But so first of all, I would suggest that you definitely, you know, get involved with a financial planner to plan for your future in retirement, because it's so important. And also, don't wait, even with your loved ones, don't wait till something happens to to start looking, and then it's a crisis situation, contact us, and so that we can, help you start the process now and get you educated and, present some options. And the nice thing is that you tell us what your budget is. So it's up to us to find something within your budget and your care needs. So it's up to you with the budget. We don't ask to see any financial papers or anything like that. We just get direction from you with your budget, the location of the city that you want to live in, or which city, and then any care needs that you require. And then from all that information, actually it's narrowed down to 2 options, because we can be very specific. And I present you 2 options, book the tours, take you on the tours, and then if you need to see a 3rd option, that's fine. But really, we will bring you to the right place at the very beginning. We don't have to waste your time, and you can make your decision, and then we help you through the whole transition.
And sometimes, to your point, Margaret Ann, about how much does it cost, and how can it you not afford to move, and that's sometimes where, if you have a senior take a look at how much are they paying in property taxes. How much is their electrical bill? How much is their hot water tank? How much are their groceries? How much is the landscaping and snow removal? Because they're probably not doing that anymore. So when you look at all those monthly costs, it could probably, very well a retirement home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
And thanks for sharing that, Peggy. Yeah, because I think that's really relevant. We really don't maybe sometimes know how much we're actually spending a month. And so even with my parents, that's what it was. I had to convince them that it was okay and they could afford it. So, I mean, as family members, we may see it as a great opportunity for our family, and the parents may not. And how about this? You talk about retirement places. This isn't always like, what age can you there's one. Okay, what age could you actually start thinking about going? Like, I know some 60-year-olds that probably are ready to go to retirement home. I'm tired of all this stuff. I want freedom. Is that a possibility?
It is a possibility. And there's various retirement homes. Some are very independent, where you don't have any services available. So it's just like having an apartment, but you have like a call bell, so that if something was to happen, there's somebody there to help you. You have different, as I mentioned earlier, assisted living buildings. It's just your preference, and it's your timing. It's always your timing.
Okay. And we'll go up to my ink.
So, well, since I'm very new to this, because in my home country, we don't have retirement homes. We usually, parents, they live in the house and labor is cheap. We can get servants for like no money and very less money. So what's the percent, because you work in this industry, so what's the percentage of people actually going there? Is it like everyone, or do people stay in their house up until they go to their box, or like, what is it like?
Their box. So everyone wants to stay home as long as possible. Like, that's the goal. And I think that it's 10% of the seniors population that are moving to retirement.
Oh, so so I thought it's the other way around. I thought it would be like almost 80 to 90% go there, and then maybe 10% of the people, they stay at their place. But it's the opposite. Well, that's amazing. So 90% stay at home.
Yeah.
And then 10% who do not have anything going on, they go to that building. Okay.
That's right. And then with seniors staying at home, that's when the families get involved. And like Margaret Ann said, it's a full-time job, right? So you're working, you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of your parents. It's a lot of hours.
We were called the sandwich generation. And like I said, just from totally experiencing this for the last 5 years, it was very, very hard on the caregivers as well. And, I also had a sick child, and I always look and I go, we always are looking at, like, we don't want to see anything happen to our parents or our kids or anything. So you're combined with the stress of that, but you're also working full time, because we haven't hit that age, where we're able to stay at home. So now you've got kids at home, you've got your elderly parents, you're trying to work full time. It is a very stressful time. So I just encourage anybody, if you're listening on this call, to have these conversations now. And if you haven't even thought of it or don't know where to start, then Terry is a great place to start with this, right?
Yeah,
like give you a call and say, what should I be thinking about? Roger, how about you? You got your hand up?
Terry, I live in a 5-bedroom house in downtown Vancouver. What's the matter with me making my other 4 bedrooms available to seniors and creating a little community where people can they can be independent if they want to go into their bedroom and close the door, but they can be part of a community. They can garden, they can cook, they can clean. Please comment.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different living arrangements and different options that people are considering, right? And that's something that people do consider, is like getting a house together and just sharing the expenses and sharing the beauty of staying at home and just being independent and sharing the house like that. Like that's a community in itself, and the socialization and supporting each other. I think it's a wonderful idea.
I have to second it too, Roger, because you're talking my lingo. I'm 61, but I've been talking about this for 5 years because I've been planting seeds, and I'm going to plant them for another 10. And it's funny. Now everybody's going, now they're all talking like, I smile, like it was their idea. But I'm going, no, I don't want to grow old alone. I want to be with friends and stuff. I want to do this. So how do we work this out? Make sure one of the ones are a nurse. And go, Terry, now, Terry, this is her business, but on a little side note, I mean, it's just when you're going to do this, I think you have to think of it, as a business. So how do I get the right people? How do you get the right fit? Like, I'm sure even with Terry, there was something there. How do you deal with somebody if perhaps they're very aggressive? Can people, I think somebody actually posted, can people get removed from places if they're aggressive? Or can you speak on that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So people, who a lot of times it's due to their health conditions where they get aggressive and they don't have control of it. So yes, you at that point, you can, if you're a danger to yourself or to somebody else, you can be asked to leave a retirement residence. And that's when you would be moved to a long-term care home where they're medically and, nursing wise and, medically able to help you through this through the stage you're going through. Yeah.
And again, perfect is Terry having somebody like that in your back pocket, because these things all happen. Bernie, you've got a question.
Actually, I have several. So does Vis-a-Vis do anything to help support people that want to stay at home? Do you offer services? Like, in other words, find a home. Let's say I don't want to find a home. I am in my home and I'm happy where I am. You provide services that'll help the person stay longer.
We sure do. We actually help set up private home care services as well. So we're twofold. So stay at home or move to residence. You give Vis-a-Vis a call and we're here to help you. And setting up all those things, either staying at home or, like I say, retirement, our service is free. So why wouldn't you call?
So how much would it cost them to stay at home? Like, assuming there isn't a lot of, you don't need a PSW or a nurse, but like how is that shaped?
Yeah. So depending on what services it's just based on the services you require. I can't really even give a baseline because it just depends on every individual and what services they need. However, we strongly suggest when you need help with bathing, that type of thing, getting up in the morning, getting to bed at night, you contact Home and Community Care and start the process so that you can get those services from the government, right? So that it's subsidized through the government, that you're not paying for it. And then you can add on with our services to what you need to stay home.
I know you're working in the province of Ontario right now, and I think Vis-a-Vis is both on the Ontario and Quebec side, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is this something that happens across the country with other versions of Vis-a-Vis or your competitors, or is this something that's kind of unique to Ontario and Quebec?
I don't really know what the other competitors are doing. However, I do know that I think Vis-a-Vis is the only company that I'm aware of anyway that can offer the twofold, stay at home or move to retirement home and get both services from one company. So
Excellent.
the beauty of this is that, you know, you stay at home as long as possible. And then when you're ready to move to retirement, then we can help you in that process as well. So it's a continuum of care.
What's the price range for a typical private home care or private, not home care about residents? Not long term. No, but, you know, like a rough price range. And I know.
She's done a very good job of avoiding that answer.
Well, no. Yeah. So, but
You
just like, you know,
noticed.
there is a range. Obviously, if you're getting something that's a Cadillac iteration versus, you know, a nicer iteration, what should a person? I guess I'm trying to avoid the sticker shock for some people.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So as I said at the beginning, each apartment or each unit is based on per square footage. So, you know, I know of a 210 square foot unit in this one retirement home. Whereas if you're independent, you're only getting meals and activities, no care. It's about $2,300 a month.
Okay.
So it can go up from there.
Okay.
And again, like I say, care is additional, right? So,
Yep.
Yeah.
No, understood.
And you have to remember too, and I always say this to our clients, is when you move to a retirement home, it's not really, I know you like the luxurious 1-bedroom apartments and things like that, but it's the socialization, it's the meals, it's the housekeeping you don't have to do anymore. It's your, you know, laundry and stuff. And, you know, it's just, your room is where you go to rest and to sleep. Whereas the whole building is your home. You have a theater, you have a swimming pool, you have all these different things that you can participate in and go visit. So just remember, it's not just a small little room. It's where you're going to sleep, and it's the whole building is your home. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna, because I've experienced this, like, you know, it was great. You wanted to do things with your parents, you took stuff in, you could have a room to do it. Like she said, there was, like, you know, the theater room, beautiful on the water. So it is your home. You need, and that's one thing, I guess, for and I think there's more of us getting used to it, like my Yang. So you realize it's been around, but never really talked about for a long time. I don't know if it's the last 15, 20 years we're talking about it more and getting more prepared, but I think it's just like everything else. It's like mental health. It's like everything, you know, everything's coming out of the closet. Let's talk about it. Let's not wait to that last minute when I have to, and then they are in the hospital and they end up in Timbuktu. So Terry, thank you so much for shedding some light on this topic today, opening our minds so that we see that there is different avenues and opportunities. And I thought it was great. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to let you give us the top 3 takeaways that you think our guests should leave with today, as we just share a few upcoming announcements. On Thursday, I am going to put in the call into the chat room. Business Networking Strategy Session every Thursday. That's our new agenda. We welcome everybody to join us. It's free. Come out, see our new services, like our keynote sessions, online groups, tools and technologies. Everything is designed to help you with your business. Why do it alone? I believe 2022 and on, like, there is no time to practice together. Everyone achieves more. And how are we going to do that? With open conversations like this. It is about being real with real people, and sometimes having those tough conversations that we don't want to. Roger, I'm going to refer back to you. I honestly love your idea. See, I'm in. To your place. If you wanted to do that, put that out, you would find 4 lovely people, even a couple to start with, even one to start with. And another really interesting for any seniors listening on the call isn't that a lovely thing that they've got going now with college students, university students, opening up your home to them. They bring some different, vitality to the home and can help you out, give you that spirit and stuff. So there's all sorts of things to actually think about, to uncover. Bernie, how about you? What's coming up next week with us?
Well, Margaret Ann, next Tuesday we have an open slot for someone to speak. So this is an opportunity to knock on the door and register.
Okay. That I just found out. Okay, so that's all right. We'll have something planned. And on that note, I guess we'll take this back to Terry to wrap up our time. What do you think is the top 3 things people should be considering at any age, maybe?
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking as, grow older. So check out your local community's services, so senior services, to see what programs are available to you in your community to help you to prevent isolation and just to be able to support you in your home. Also speak to your financial planner to start planning for this type of retirement living, so that you have some options when you reach that age. And also don't wait till something happens. So contact us now, start the process, start answering your questions. Our service is free, so call the experts at Vis-a-Vis. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Terry. That was great. Really appreciated you having on here. So we have a couple minutes left. Anybody else?
I have something to say.
Okay, Mayank.
I don't think long-term care, I think it's a beautiful place. Think about it. You're getting old, you go there, you find someone there, you start dating again. It's a good place to be. I think some people think it's gonna be hard. I have to leave my house. I'm gonna be North American in 1 year, right? And I will have a Canadian passport. And when I grow old, I'll be there for sure. I'm gonna be happy. Okay, let's pick a big place, and then it has a pool, it has a theater. You can relive your 20s again, in your 80s or in your 70s. You can find, if you're a guy, then you can find a girl. If you're a girl, find a guy. Or maybe there's another situations too where
That
a guy
happens.
finds a guy and a girl finds a girl, but that's another case. I think it's a good community place when you tip towards the end of your life and your kids are super busy with their kids and their family, and even if they love you to the moon and back, they still are not able to find the time that you need. And I think it's a good idea. Canada does a great job opening these big buildings where people can watch movies together, do whatever. I think it's
and you know what? That's really cool, Mayank. Sorry, Terry, Mayank is he's the young one on our call today.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat having refreshing from a different country and a
Definitely.
different age group, and just seeing that. Thanks for sharing. Go ahead, Terry. Do you want to comment to Mayank? Or?
No, and I was just going to say, I know Mayank, so it's really great. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, because it is a different perspective from a different.
It is all about perspective. You can either look at something and see it's a bad thing or it's a good thing. It's in your own eyes, right? It's like, what do you say that in English? What's the phrase? Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So it's just in your own eyes.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just wanted to offer Terry, the idea of look around your community and see what's there is a lot different than what I thought that would have been. When I was doing this a few years ago from my mother, that's when I realized, well, I knew from my training that when we say a Canadian healthcare system, we really have to start correcting this. No, we have 13 different healthcare systems. We have a provincially run healthcare system that doesn't have the same kind of things as the other provinces. So that's number one. And man, the full-time job aspect of it, I was lucky that I was able to devote the time to it, because my God, trying to understanding, did my mother qualify for things based on her age, based on her medical history, based on her postal codes, based on her income, all sorts of things, was insane. There was no coordination to any of this. I was like the LIN coordinator for her because she didn't qualify for a case care worker who was going to do all this stuff, but it was not easy. So as you say, get on it early, because you're going to be faced with, holy crap, I thought we had a healthcare system. No, we don't. We have a whole bunch of little independent things that are doing their own little thing. And if you don't know this, it's going to be really, really, it's going to smack you in the face, and you're going to be unprepared for it.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is you want to make the decision yourself. You don't want a crisis to happen where your family has to make the decision for you.
Yeah.
So that's the key there, right there. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. You know what? I think this could also be another program, Terry, where we talk about, the living wills, where we're going and having these tough conversations. Because a lot of times it's that we know, and then we get off the call and we don't really think about it because nobody's like, we'll put that off till tomorrow. And then all of a sudden tomorrow is here. And so it's really, everything is just about being proactive and thinking outside the box. Yeah. I mean, this isn't cookie cutter, but this is options. Yeah. This is, and Mayank, I just want to clarify one thing with you. There is two things. Long-term care is more when you are not really capable of taking care of yourself, where retirement living is also an option for many Canadians now. And you see them popping up all over Canada and every place. There's beautiful retirement residents. So we've got things that are actually gauging people, I guess, depending on their quality, how healthy they are. Terry, help me out here. You know what I'm trying to say, eh?
Yeah. So
are they both the same? Are they both like the same concept of like living or something?
Well, the retirement living is when you're still autonomous, when you're still able to have some independence, and long-term care is when you need 24/7 nursing care.
Oh, so it's, you've been taken care of all the time and in LTC.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make sure, because I think you were thinking, so long-term care is more, okay, just so you know, and then there's retirement living, but there's different types of retirement living.
And I was just going to add quickly, when you're talking about documents and things, one really important one to have is power of attorney for finance and health. Because if you're not able to make those decisions, it's really hard for the family to do anything without those documents. So power of attorneys, for health and finances.
Okay, so on that note, we did run a little bit over. Sorry about that, guys, but thank you all so much for joining us today. And if you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to Terry Black. Go check us out on LinkedIn, and you can leave a comment there, and we'll see you in the movies. Are you going to say one more thing, Terry?
Yeah, I was going to say, go to visavie.com, visavie.com, and there'll be a pop-up where you get a free document called How to Choose the Right Retirement Residence. So help yourself.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. You did a great job, Terry.
Thank you.
And have a good afternoon, everybody.
Great. Thanks.
Yes. Bye-bye.